Recording in progress. Oh, are we doing all from the beginning?
In the Pop Culture Cupid podcast, we talk about how pop culture influences our expectations in relationships. I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
Healthy communication. I'm Michelle. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship. We bring some juicy stories from our own love lives and dating, and it gets pretty interesting. Be focused, we're going to be to the point, and no digressing.
Self-awareness. Follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
And like and comment.
If it's shockingly bad, we just re-record another one.
Yeah. No, I think there's some good stuff that you can just nitpick. Recording in progress.
In progress.
Hello.
I think we're never gonna kind of start talking without recording, because we're not we've always got this recording in progress, which is good. I was going to say which is pas mal, and making it a whole French English. My brain right now is just
I get you. That bilingual brain, it can get you sometimes. Yeah,
definitely can.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. My bonus daughter, she's 4 now, and I've been trying to get some English in her as much as possible, because I'm going to be speaking English to. First of all, English is important, and then second of all, I'm going to be speaking English to my son, so her half brother, and I just don't want her to feel left out. So I've been, it's been a couple of years that I've just been. And the other day she goes, and does all these sounds of just like they sound English, like she understands the whole hot potato thing.
Yeah.
But then she stops and she goes, coconut.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Very, very funny.
Yeah. But
so for the people watching, it's Christmas.
Such Christmassy vibes. Unfortunately, I don't have Christmassy vibes here. Maybe I should put up some lights as well. But
I was thinking, do you put up decorations for Hanukkah?
Not really. I mean, it's not as like a huge culture over here. I know in like abroad, it's like a huge culture. At least what I see on YouTube and things like that, with people like decorating their house according to the season or according to the holiday. And here, maybe a bit, like there's different holidays that have different kind of like decorations, but personally I never really put up much decorations, but too lazy for that, like every time having to switch out decorations and whatever.
I think it's the Americans do it best.
Oh yeah, it's a great way to suck money out of people, having all of these huge shops with a bunch of different season-oriented decorations. And but it's cool, like the pumpkins and the things that people do.
I mean, I would love to be in America as of like mid-October to, I don't know, late February, because Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and I'm sure they go nuts on Valentine's Day. I
would love to go to like this small like little town in America.
And just to like soak it all in.
Yeah, one of those Hallmark movie cities, towns, where they have like the little farmers markets and
Oh God, there has to be Christmas movies coming out. It's gonna be great.
There's so many of them. I've already watched a few on Netflix. They have a ton.
Yeah, this is the life of having like a child part-time and being pregnant. Like, you either watch Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph like on a loop, or just go to bed at 9.
Yeah. The life of an adulting.
I know. It's like, where do I sign up to stop doing that?
So holiday season must be more, I don't want to say complicated because it has a bad connotation to it, but it must be more complex, having not only a partner, but a partner that comes with a child.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like logistics. Well, because I think first of all, so JT and I, this is our second holiday season together. Um, and by the when it was our first holiday season last year, we had already been together for like practically a year.
Hmm.
So we knew we wanted to spend it together. So that in itself was just kind of like, okay, so your family, my family, what are we doing? And then putting Julia into that situation, it's just like, so we need to figure out with her mum, and her mum's parents are divorced, so she's got
Oh,
two
wow.
Christmases to deal with and everything, and it's just so
Yeah.
nuts. So with bonus children, we decided, you know, before last Christmas, gave you my heart,
Gave you my
uh,
heart.
that we would alternate Christmases. So we would have,
Yeah.
because our families are just all over France, like, her family isn't anywhere near us, and, his family isn't anywhere near us, my family isn't near us. So we can't do 24th on one side and 25th on the other.
Yeah.
So we decided, we'll do the swap around the 27th every year. And that's just, the way that you know, it's just the way it is.
It's just, yeah, having to
And
deal with what is.
yeah, and we decided um to have a Christmassy theme event, the four of
Hmm.
us. So we did it last year, and we're going to do it tomorrow. So tomorrow we're taking her to see Father Christmas in this kind of like really Christmassy area. I'll send you pictures.
Oh,
Um,
fun.
so we're going to do
Ah.
that tomorrow. But this means that we have, so there's a Christmas with her mother and us two, and obviously that my bonus daughter. And then we've got Christmas with my parents on the 21st,
Hmm.
and then Christmas with his parents on the 24th, and then Christmas with his brother on the 25th.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of fun.
And
Lots
I'm
of
like,
celebrations.
yeah, keeping in mind I'm by that time I'll be a month away from my due date. I'm just gonna be exhausted.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the key to all of this is, it's just kind of making sure you think about these things in advance, because you don't want to be. My parents assumed that we were going to be spending all of the holidays with them because they are the
Hmm.
closest to us, and they were wishful thinking. And so, I kept saying to JT, like, we need to figure it out. Like, we need to figure out the exact dates of when we're doing the switch and when everything is
Hmm.
happening, because it's important for people. And he goes, I don't care about Christmas and blah blah blah. Neither does my family. But his family thought we were going to spend the whole of the Christmas week with them. And I was like, well, that's just not what's happening. And obviously, like, we're an important attraction because, I'm pregnant, and Christmas is, it's amazing with kids. And so, because we've got Julia, everybody wants to spend Christmas with us and things. Yeah, I think, you want to think about it in advance and make it, very clear. And I think about yourself.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I have to say that I wish I could be in Europe for Christmas. It's one of
Yeah,
my favorite things to do is just be in Europe during Christmas time. It's just like so magical. But yeah, family politics can get very rough and a lot of people can get insulted. And I think the key is to have discussions in advance and have a system. That way
yeah,
people can't go like, oh, but I didn't know, and it's not fair, and why are you only just telling me? And and they know that there's a system that's fair for everyone. And I mean, but although it's very hard to to not be with the family that you want to be with during the holiday, but you have to accept it. It's what life is about when you get older and the family expands and your child has their own family now.
exactly.
And so you have to adapt to the times, and it is what it is. And you have to be okay with not everyone being together the whole time. And especially when so many when people live so far away, it's hard.
Yeah, and you want to see because we've got this thing where I'm thinking about my kind of like immediate family. So that's, I mean, I love my parents, but that's no longer my parents. My immediate family is Julia, JT, and my future
Yeah.
son. And so I'm thinking about that. But and then I'm thinking about my parents and his parents and like how we're going to make this work. But my parents are thinking about us, obviously, and their parents. And they don't want
Yeah.
any elderly people being alone on the holidays because, well, you don't want you don't want them to,
Yeah.
which grandparent is going to spend with which of my aunts, uncles, or us, and it becomes this whole thing. And I think there are two kind of parties to this of just like there's either people who just don't give a shit and just show up on the 25th wherever and don't care. And then there are people who want to make sure that everybody's happy and yeah, that there are no elderly people left alone. Like on my English side, I don't have any grandparents left, but my cousins have their other grandparents. Do you see
Hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're my aunts and uncles, they're thinking, okay, well, this Christmas, like if we spend it in France with you guys, then the other grandparent is on their own because the other side of the family over there is doing something else. And it just becomes this whole kind of web of, you know, my Christmas with my cousins is impacted because their cousins on their other side of the family is somewhere else. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. And, you don't complain about it, but it is just becoming this whole thing. And you have to deal with that when you're single, but then it's times two when you're in a relationship.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, each status has its own complications with holiday times,
Yeah.
and I think in the aspect of having like it's never ending because you can go on your own core family, like your partner, and your child, but then there's parents and there's
Yeah.
siblings and there's cousins, and at some point you have to go, okay, enough is enough. I cannot, you know, be with everyone and I cannot appease everyone. And I have to, at some point, I have to say, this is my holiday too. And I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be worried the whole holiday of where am I going next and am I going to make it on time and who's going to get insulted and who's going to hold a grudge and it just gets so overwhelming. And at some point, you have to think of yourself and do what's best for you,
Yeah.
what you want to do, and what's best for your family, especially with a child involved. And you want to create, because it's a very thin line between the holiday being a happy festive event and it being this chaotic family politic polit,
Yeah.
politic mess, political mess. And for us, our holiday season is more like we have holidays throughout the year, but like our holiday season is September, October, depending on the Hebrew year and how it aligns with the calendar. But it's like a chain of like a bunch of holidays. And this year was like such a mess for us because you have us and then you have our partner's family and my parents are divorced and so there's like this whole thing and no one really prepared anything and everyone has to like, why am I hosting again or why isn't everyone together? And it just sucks when things aren't well thought out or well planned, and when one person feels like they're hosting too much or the one person feels like no one's inviting them enough, and it's just it's an art to know how to balance everyone out and not and not overwhelm yourself with it. But yeah, so I think it's complicated no matter no matter your status, although
Yeah.
yeah, I think it may have been like a lot of times like when we're single,